Let's do some practice with dihybrid crosses. In this problem right here, we're going to look at two traits and the inheritance of those traits. So a female guinea pig that is heterozygous for both fur color and coat texture, so she's heterozygous for both traits, is crossed with a male that has light fur color and is heterozygous for coat texture. And we want to see what possible offspring they can produce. We're given that dark fur color is dominant and light fur color is recessive and rough coat texture is dominant to smooth. So if we look at the female guinea pig, we know that she's heterozygous for both traits. So she would be big D, big R, little r. And then dad, let's see, he has light fur color and is heterozygous for coat texture. So, since he has light fur and fur is recessive, we know that he's homozygous, recessive, for fur color, and then he's heterozygous, so that's big R, little r. So let's take a look at the possible gametes that we can get from these parents. So let's start with mom. And I like to foil it, so first, outer, inner, last, to make sure that I'm getting all possible combinations. So for mom, she can contribute these two, right? So that's big D, big R, because you can only give one version of each trait, or one allele in your gamete. So we have big D, big R, or she can contribute big D and little r. Then we've got little d, big R, little d, little r. All right, now let's look at dad. So again, I've got little d, big R, little d, little r. And then if I go through the whole process, I end up with the same thing again. So since these two are the same and these two are the same, I can kind of cross those two out. So he has two possible combinations of alleles that he can contribute in his gametes. And mom had 4 unique combinations of traits that she could contribute. So now we want to make a Punnett square to look at the possible offspring from these two coming together. So let's put this up here and draw a Punnett square. So I know that mom has 4 possible gametes that she can contribute and dad has 2. So I'm not going to make a big huge Punnett square. I'm just going to look at the possible combinations. So here's mom, so she can give these possible gametes. And then dad's going to contribute either this combination, so lowercase d, capital R, or recessive, recessive. All right, so now I want to see what kind of offspring. So we've got big D, big R from mom, and dad is giving little d, big R. Here I've got dad's giving little d, big R. Let's see, little d, big R, little d, big R. Let's try this again. So you see how we're coming together in all the possible ways that we can combine these alleles. little d, little r from dad, and I'm just going to put this here. Mom. All right. So now let's look at our possible combinations in the offspring. So we have heterozygous for fur color and homozygous dominant. So if we're looking at the phenotypes of the offspring, we've got dark and rough is one possible combination. So let's see, we've got dark and rough, dark and rough, dark and rough, and that's it. So I have 3 dark and rough. Let's see, dark fur and smooth. Let's see how many we have for that. So here I have dark and smooth. So I've got 1 dark and smooth. So now let's see what other. So I've got light and rough texture. So let's see, I've got light fur and rough texture here, light fur and rough texture here, light fur, light fur and rough texture there. So I've got 3 with that combination, and then I have 1 left that's going to have both recessive traits, so light fur and smooth texture. It's going to be 1. Did I get everybody? So there were 8 possible, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So these would be the possible phenotypes in the offspring.